Now, I know Bodhi and I know you, and if I didn't know Bodhi, I would say, oh my God, your poor husband. You work like more than anyone I know other than me. I mean, you just don't stop. You're a dynamo. Tasmanian devil, you don't stop. And had I not known Bodhi and had I not known that he's exactly the same way, I would say the poor guy. But so it leads me to another question. How do you two manage a life when you're both going at 212%?
Well, that's a good question, Aaron. No, but we just, you know, he'll come by the set and visit. And a lot of the work I do at home in terms of, you know, with my producer hat of looking at edits of the show or music cues or whatever, those kinds of things I do at home, he'll do it with me, you know, so we're spending time together. And then we definitely map out time on the weekend to spend together. So, and it becomes, you enjoy it even more because you don't take it for granted, you know.
Wow, so he gets involved with the show. It's not like two isolated careers?
He's not involved like, you know, where he's, but he'll have ideas here and there because I think any creative team, you can't help but sort of cross-reference things off each other. And he actually, yeah, he's got a lot of great ideas. He's a very creative person, so.
Okay, get him on the payroll.
Yeah.
Now, you of course, we're talking about Courting Alex, brand new show on CBS, and I keep hearing, every time I turn around, I'm hearing it's breaking some new record or this or that. It's the #1 new comedy on CBS. That's the correct way to put it, right?
This season, yeah.
That's huge.
It is huge.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
No surprise, though, my God. After Dharma and Greg, which, you know, the entire planet loved, you know, and I want to ask you, you have the grace of, you know, a gazelle, and you're a ballerina, and you're this funny and hilarious and talented actor, blah, 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 and then you wrap in complete sexiness into the whole package. Yeah. Is this on purpose? Hear me out with that question. Do you sit and go, okay, I'm going to make a combination package character in every time I walk on a stage? Or do you say, today I'm going to do Lucille Ball funny, and tomorrow I'm going to do, you know, Katharine Hepburn, or whatever?
Right, now I get the question. I think for this, for this time around of me doing television, the day, you know, I was kind of thinking about it, and I went, what would I want to do, you know, coming back to television? And I thought, you know, I'm so fortunate and have worked so hard to get myself in a position, and also am very lucky to be in the position where I can, you know, be part of the development process and, you know, am more than just an actress for hire now. So I can have a say in things and express my point of view and have more creative input. So I thought, you have this opportunity, Jenna, to do whatever you want. What do you want to do? You know, as a girl, what do you want to do? As an actress, what do you want to do? As someone who does comedy, what do you want it to be like? And I literally just sort of made a dream wish list of how I wanted to look, how I wanted the writing to be, what I wanted my character to be like, how I wanted the PR to be, and I just kind of, you know, shot for the stars for fun. And then made a game for myself as to how high could I go in achieving those goals. So I did. I thought, how good can I look without becoming, because I can't obsess about it because I'm not that kind of person. Like, I just will never become insane about it.
Right.
But I thought, let's get really fit. You know, that'd be fun, and that's healthy anyway. All right. How much better can I eat? Is there more, can I be more healthy? Yeah, okay, good. What writer is going to create the best show for me? And just was relentless and persistent until I got that right. And just didn't compromise.
Now, talking to writers, you know, I've been to one taping so far, and then tonight's taping is going to be another one. Mm-hmm. But the first one I went to, I saw some rewrites and I saw some retakes.
Yeah.
And of all the tapings and sitcoms I've seen, I mean, this time every single rewrite got funnier and funnier. And I know that's how it's supposed to work, but a lot of times it doesn't.
A lot. That's why there's not a lot, like, you know, there's not a lot of great sitcoms on the air, especially since a lot of the great ones have finished their run. You know, we lost Seinfeld and Friends, and Everybody Loves Raymond. And there hasn't been many new ones while those ones were on the air. And Will and Grace, this will be their last year. That 70s show, this will be their last year. So there's sort of a transition period going on right now. And it is difficult to put together all of the very important parts in a comedy is very difficult. Number one, way more difficult than drama. And to do it on a weekly basis is an extreme challenge. And when you also have so many personalities involved, from studio to network, to the writers, to the cast, and that's a lot of creative minds. And if you don't put the right batch of creative minds together that work well together, that are all on a similar, operating on the same wavelength, not to be esoteric, but literally just vibing the same, you know, creatively, it can be a disaster.
Yeah.
And so it's very important. That was one of the things I set out to do, is put together just the right team. that, you know, kind of cross-inspired each other to make a great whole. And I think that's why we have such a good show.
Dharma and Greg, you had so much riding on your shoulders, even though you just wore kind of one hat, you know, actress. There was a lot riding on your shoulders. I mean, this was kind of the Dharma show, and Greg was great as well. I mean,
Greg was
pivotal,
incredible, and I wouldn't have been Dharma without him.
In this show, you're certainly wearing a few more hats, and you've got a lot more riding on it, and you put a lot more into it. What did you learn from the previous show, and how are you deploying that newfound knowledge on this one?
You know, I learn a lot. I take every experience I have and learn from it, good or bad. And I also watch other people, and I learn from other people's mistakes so that I don't have to then make the same. So I learned the importance and the inevitability of the collaboration of, you know, doing a television show, and the importance of having harmony in that, because we had so much harmony on Dharma and Greg. And so I learned from the good parts, and I also learned in terms of, you know, being in the media spotlight Dharma was like my first huge, you know, participation in publicity. And so I learned a lot from my experiences in that, and how both good and bad. You know, I learned what I did well with the media and what I would have chose to do differently. Because you kind of have to experience it to then step back and then, you know, digest that experience and compare things, and not changing. I have a very dedicated work ethic, and sometimes, and I have a good attitude, and sometimes that goes unacknowledged in Hollywood. You know, they value it, but they won't reward you for it, you know, or they won't recognize the importance of how far that goes in, like, leading a group and getting a job done. And so one could tend to go, well, then forget it. You know, I'm not going to work so hard to have a good attitude. It's much easier to just be cranky, you know?
Right.
And I realize I'm just never going to back down from working hard and having a good attitude and caring about people, because I learned it actually does go a really long way in getting the job done, and long-term effects of that. And so that was a big lesson I learned, is just never ever back down from what I know to be true in terms of having a good attitude and working hard and being the best that I can be. Because it is really easy to get lazy and cranky, and I'm just not gonna fall into that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, tonight's show, it's airing tonight. Third show, right, that's aired?
Yes.
For those of us who haven't seen the previous ones, get us caught up to speed. Tell us a little bit about what's happening tonight.
Okay. Well, the show as a whole is Courting Alex, and I play a workaholic lawyer who is very good at what she does, but doesn't have a lot of time, hasn't made time for a social life. A guy comes into her life who she wouldn't expect, and is opposite from her, and she falls for him. My dad, Dabney Coleman, runs the law firm and is not a big fan. He's great. Not a big fan of this relationship. So the first 2 episodes were sort of discovering that relationship and establishing it. Tonight's episode is where I discover, we're kind of going out now, and I discover a little bit of an annoying habit. He calls me his girlfriend for the first time, and that kind of catches me off guard. And then I sort of discover
Don't give it away.
An annoying habit. Yeah. And then it's established that I used to just sabotage relationships, because I would find these annoying habits and then get out of them and then not have one. So I'm trying so hard not to do that I end up overcompensating and digging myself into a bigger hole, only to have a wonderful gentlemanly act by Josh Randall's character Scott in the end.
Aww.
It's a romantic episode. It's really, really, really funny tonight. Really. There's some moments that, like, I kind of can't breathe. I was laughing so hard.
Really?
Yeah, especially with Dabney Coleman and Josh's character.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You know, all the things that have been happening with CBS, and this show's really getting out across the globe, which is really very cool. And of course, we're with Buzzine and XM Radio and World Space. Which,
congratulations!
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is going out, you know, via UPOP to the entire planet. How would you like some of the other countries that maybe haven't seen Dharma before, or this or that, you know, with some of Jenna Elfman's characters? How would you like them to perceive this new character that they're seeing in Alex?
You know, I would just love for people to watch, and I would love for them to relate. Whether it's my character or another character on the show, I would love for them to find something they relate to that they just dig and find very funny and enjoyable. And I would just want them to tune in every week and just enjoy it. And it's what I love about the show is it's not mean-spirited. It's just funny with characters you can care about that actually have storytelling. There's storytelling in this show, and the characters you can follow them and invest in them. And it's good. I'm really proud of it. So I just hope people watch and enjoy it and laugh and get some relief from life, really. That's what I care about.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.